Welcome back to News Now. I'm Radhika Bajaj. Now, the fight to repeal Section 377 of the IPC has been a long and arduous one. It in fact began in 2001 with an NGO challenging the criminalization of homosexuality. They had a glimmer of hope on the 2nd of July in 2009 with the Delhi High Court's order, but the Supreme Court has now set that order aside and it's back to ground zero for the LGBT community.
It's a fight that has spanned decades. A fight for their fundamental right. A fight for their freedom of expression. A fight against 150-year-old legislation introduced during the British Raj that criminalizes sexual activity against the order of nature. It began in 2001 with an NGO challenging the constitutional validity of Section 377 in the Delhi High Court. Since then, the debate over the contentious section of the Indian Penal Code has only snowballed further, with even contradictions and changing stands by the government's own ministers. In May 2008, when the case came up for hearing in the Delhi High Court, the Home Ministry took a contradictory stand from the Ministry of Health. Even the Law Minister Veerappa Moily agreed that Section 377 might be outdated.
It has not gone as we anticipated. We wait the judgment, and if it is really against us on any issue, we will take all legal measures which are open to us.
Finally, in a historic judgment on 2nd July 2009, the Delhi High Court overturned Section 377, legalizing consensual homosexual activities between adults.
Well, you may call me a liberal, but speaking for myself, I think the High Court judgment was plainly right. You cannot have two views about it, but that's my view.
According to the figures compiled by the National AIDS Control Program, the Supreme Court's decision criminalizing homosexuality will affect nearly 2.5 million people fighting for their identity. Bureau Report, Times Now.
हम लोग ये सब सोच रहे हैं, मगर उन लोग नहीं सोच रहे जो आधिकारिक जगह पे बैठे हैं, उनको सोचना चाहिए। अब तो सोचे कम से कम कि जब उन लोग बोल रहे हैं कि बाहर का कपड़ा नहीं पहनेंगे, सूती कपड़ा पहनेंगे जो इंडिया में बनता है, तो इंडिया का जो लॉ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, ये तो इंडिया लॉ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कभी है ही नहीं। ये बनाया गया था, अंग्रेज लोग यहाँ आके बनाए थे।
मुझे सबसे पहले ये लगता है हम लोगों का एक महीने में बहुत कुछ बदल जाता है, और ये 4 साल तक हम लोगों का हम लोग इतना काम किया, हम लोग तो पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। आखिर अगर मरना पड़े तो मर भी जाएंगे। हम लोग का ऐसा सिचुएशन है, आज सुबह हम लोगों का जो सदमा हम लोग का पहुंचा, हमारा सब दोस्तों को, हम लोग ऑफिस छोड़ के सब कुछ काम छोड़ के इधर आए हैं। जो बढ़ावा इन लोगों ने हम लोग को पहले ही इतना प्रॉब्लम में रहते हैं हम लोग।
Well, as we're seeing, the Supreme Court ruling today criminalizing homosexuality has sent a wave of protest in the LGBT community across the country. Now, many LGBT activists claim that this is a regressive judgment that has set back the country by at least a decade.
Lost a lot of faith I had in the justice system of this country. But I would really urge the Parliament. I'm sorry.
Shaken sentiments of the LGBT community across the country, with the Supreme Court today criminalizing homosexuality. Several people gathered in Mumbai's Azad Maidan awaiting the verdict.
हम लोग ऐसा लगा था कि celebration होगा आज. We are really disappointed with whatever decision Supreme Court has given. But I would like to make a point here that we are not going to stop our fight, and we continuing our fight against 377. If not today, then at least tomorrow, or at least sometime soon, the 377 has to go out of this country.
Not only in Mumbai, but this ruling casting a shadow on the hopes of the LGBT community in Bangalore too.
It's not about just sex, it's about love. So I think people should understand that, which will now not allow them to because of this judgment. It will take them, we're going back 5 years back.
However, there are some determined to take the fight forward, even as they are left with few options.
We assumed we could, we assumed in a fantasy where we could change this particular section, top to bottom, instead of going from bottom to top, getting the support of the people and then approaching the judiciary. We thought it would work the opposite way. But now, since obviously the Supreme Court has decided to just, negate the whole thing, it's time for us to rethink the way we look at this movement.
But the disappointment still looming large in Chennai as well.
They call it a democracy, but I question if it truly is a democracy. There are a lot of people dying of HIV, AIDS and depression each day.
With all eyes now on the Parliament after the SC ruling, will the LGBT community finally find relief? Bureau Report, Times Now.